Hello, 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 my little maniacs. This is your host, the Maniacs Gaming, coming back at you with another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a preview of the Buccaneers Lions game. Let's get it. So tonight, the game will be played at 7 o'clock in Detroit. And that's really all we have to talk about in that aspect. It's a primetime game, Monday Night Football. See if these Bucs are made for primetime. Again. But anyway, and then this is where we usually go into injuries. But first, we gotta do a review. Gotcha. Anyway, so the Bucs beat the Niners last week, 30-19, which the offense looked really freaking good considering Baker was thrown to Sterling Shepard and friends, and the defense looked really freaking good too. Holding the Niners to I think it was just 2 touchdowns and a couple field goals. Honestly, like they did really good. I cannot complain about the defense at all. And they also forced a couple turnovers. Never can complain about that. Whereas the Lions lost to the Chiefs last week, 30-17, in a game when their offense kind of went MIA and their defense definitely went MIA. The Lions game last week was just a oof. But now we have injury news to talk about. And by injury news, I mean the news that Mike is back. Hurrah! Mike Evans will be playing tonight. And also, Emeka Egbuka is active for the game tonight. I'm recording this later than I meant to because I was out doing birthday stuff. Spoiler alert, it's my birthday. Hallelujah. I'm old. Congratulations. But both are active and expect to play tonight. But now let's get into the other injuries. So for the Buccaneers, Godwin is out. Haggard, the backup guard that has been now playing right guard with the injury to Cody Mott. And then Bucky is out, and then Levante is questionable, but I believe he is supposed to play. As for the Lions, their entire secondary is out with an injury, except for Brian Branch, who was suspended. Like, yikes. And like, this is not to discredit the Lions, because the Lions' defense is honestly great. We'll talk about that more in a minute, but they're great. But that entire secondary being out when you're facing this Bucs offense is going to be potentially a big issue. But before we get into that, let's talk about offenses. So the Buccaneers, obviously last week, their offense looked really good. Their run game looked really good. But again, it's still going to be a question mark, especially where we're getting so many injuries on that O-line. We're going to have to put Michael Jordan back into the game at guard. We're going to see how he does. And it's going to be a big question mark to see how he can do on that right side of the line if he's going to be playing at guard versus just be a backup depth piece. And also receivers, how much are we going to limit Mike and how much are we going to limit Emeka, where they're both still kind of dealing with hamstring injuries. I know both are expected to play and both are active. But again, it is a big question of how much they're actually going to play in the game. Whereas the Lions, their offense last week kind of went MIA during the game, but also made some plays when they needed to. They had an amazing touchdown pass to Jared Goff that unfortunately was called back due to the fact Goff didn't stop for a second. Rule of cool, NFL. Rule of cool. And their run game was kind of non-existent against the Chiefs. But again, they still have one of the deadliest run games in the league when they get going with Monty and Gibbs. And then wide receivers, their wide receivers can make a frickin' play when they need to. Between Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams, they can make a play when they need to. As for defenses, the Buccaneers, their DBs are all back and healthy. The first time all season that this has happened where the Bucs are going to have their defenses, their entire DB room. Linebackers, if Levante is out or even limited, who's going to step up in the linebacker room? That is going to be a big part of the game. Obviously, the Bucs defense is known for their blitz-happy defense. So again, the pass rush is going to be a critical part of this game. And again, I want to see a lot from this Bucs defense this game. The DBs are all healthy and going to be active. The linebackers are going to potentially be healthy if Levante can play. So I want to see how they're going to handle this Lions run game as well as helping in the pass game, and how the pass rush can do against this Lions O-line that's a little beat up right now. As for the Lions, they have Hutch on the D-line. That's a big part of the D-line. He did really good last year against Tampa. Even though it was against a backup right tackle, I'm still not going to discredit Hutch because Hutch is an absolute beast, and he absolutely will get his time to play and his time to shine this game. I'm guaranteeing it. Their DB room is going to be a big question mark for this game, as I've already mentioned, because their entire DB room is hurt or suspended right now. So there is next man up mentality for the Lions, which the Bucs have been doing all season. This is one of the games where the Bucs are relatively healthy, so we're gonna have to see how that goes for them. and their linebackers are going to be a big key to this game because their linebackers are known to make plays when they need to, whether it's stopping the run, stopping the pass. The linebackers have been making plays for the Lions, so I want to see how they keep doing that in this game. Now, question marks for this game. For the Buccaneers, it's going to be the O-line. Again, it's always going to be a question mark until we actually get somewhat healthy there. And then the run game, again, no Bucky, but we got Rashad. Again, he is the number one running back right now, and he makes plays when he needs to. And also, we got Tucker, who's a great number 3 right now number 2. But again, they make plays when they need to, and hopefully they can just keep the run game solid to borderline elite. And then another big question mark is going to be Mike and Emeka. How much are they going to be used this game? Are they only going to be used for certain plays, like in the red zone, on crucial third downs, on like second and short? Like, where are they going to be utilized this game, especially where both are nursing hamstring injuries? We don't want to, the Bucs have dealt with hamstrings with Mike his entire career. Basically, they don't want to have the same thing going on with Emeka, so they're going to make sure to keep him healthy. As for the pass rush, again, there's always going to be a question mark because the pass rush some games shows up really well, like they did last week against the Niners, and then some weeks they take it off. All depends on how the pass rush decides to go that game. As for the Lions, their biggest question marks are the secondary because, again, everybody's hurt or suspended. Not knack on the Lions. It's just how it is right now. It is football. Next man up mentality. And then also the run game. How is the run game going to play into a factor? As the Bucs defense last week, they allowed CMC to only get like 50 something yards on the ground. They kept CMC in check. But again, right now I think Monty and Gibbs are a really good duo. I think they're definitely going to make some plays. And then the passing offense for the Lions is going to be a question mark as the Bucs have their full DB room ready for this game. So we're going to see how that Lions offense will do passing wise. Keys to the game: Buccaneers, feed Emeka and Mike when they're on the field, then feed Rashad and keep time of possession. Again, you feed Rashad, you're keeping the ball on the ground, you're keeping the clock rolling. Boom. That's as simple as that. Feed Rashad, again, you keep the time of possession, keep the ball on the ground. Feed Emeka and Mike, get those crucial first downs, get those plays in the red zone where you need them, but overall just keep them healthy. As for the Lions, I think a lot of this is going to come on the ground for the Bucs, so they need to contain the Bucs run game. They need to lean on the short game and Gibbs and Monty just to be able to get those crucial yards, get those first downs in short situations, and also they just need to pressure Baker and make him force throws, especially when Mike and Emeka are not on the field and he does not have his top 2 weapons. So players to watch for this game. For the Bucs, it's going to be K. Again, he's wide receiver. He's the number 1 option receiver right now as he is completely healthy. And Rashad's going to be a player to watch to see how he does against this Lions D-line. And then Emeka and Mike are going to be big players to watch when they're on the field and depend on how much they're going to play. As for the Lions, it's going to be Hutch. Again, see how he does against this Bucs O-line that's dealing with all kinds of injuries. Goff, see how he can do against this Bucs blitz-happy defense and the secondary that's fully healthy. And then Monty and Gibbs, see how they do against this Bucs D-line that is really good against the run. And then for both sides, again, O-line versus the opposite D-line, and then wide receivers versus the opposing DBs, that's always going to be a big factor, is to see how, especially when you get 2 teams that have really good D-lines and pretty decent O-lines clashing. And both wide receivers versus the opposing DBs, this one's mostly on here for the Bucs versus the Lions, just because, again, that's going to be a show to see how this Bucs secondary can hold up against the Lions wide receivers, but also see how well the Lions DBs can hold the Bucs offense in check. Anyway, for content today, we're going to be streaming Bucs versus Lions tonight at 7 o'clock with at least 1 special guest. We're still working out a couple things, so there might be a couple more. But as of right now, it's only the 1. But anyway, guys, that is gonna do it for me today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on that noti bell. On the road to 2,000 subscribers. Try and hit that by the end of the year. Try and hit 1,700 before the Buffalo trip. Let's get it. And as always, I will see all you guys later. Stay crazy, fam.